Hello everyone. Welcome to the Geopolitics YouTube channel. And today we are going to see how Chinese PLA backed away from the Indian borders, how India presented a new model in front of countries to deal with China and many more topics. So without a further delay, let's get started. But before that, please subscribe our Telegram channel Geopolitics YouTube and our Facebook group Geopolitics YouTube. Alright. So hoping that you have subscribed this. Now let's get back to our topic. After 10 months of standoff on India-Tibet border, which is now called India-China border as China occupied Tibet, the new signals and news coming from borders are that mutual disengagement is going to happen starting from most contentious point Pangong area. Before I move forward and explain what's plan of disengagement is, how India presented a model in front of world to deal with China and how India did this, let me quickly recap a background of all that what happened in last 10 months. So starting quickly, it all began on May 4th and 5th with Chinese PLA and Indian Army have clash on north bank of Pangong Lake. Now on May 8th, jostling in Nakula sector at Sikkim occurred. On May 10th, extensive Chinese deployment noticed by India all across LAC. On May 15th, Indian troops deployed in mirror deployment with tanks, guns and artillery. On June 6th, first Corps Commander talks on agreement on disengagement occur. But on June 15th, Galwan clash happened, 20 Indian soldiers and unknown number of Chinese soldiers lost their lives. After this, between June to August, India launched application bans and scrutiny of Chinese investment in India. On August 29th, Indian Army occupied strategic heights at south bank of Pangong. In September, Raksha Mantri and Foreign Minister both met to their Chinese counterparts in Moscow. On January 24th, 9th round of talks that led to this disengagement happened. So this was the quick recap of what happened in last 10 months. Now let's see what disengagement plan is. So I am quoting Defense Minister's statement in Parliament, but it's very important to see map of this area to understand the whole issue very clearly. So here is the map of that finger area in Pangong. So most of you know the lake because of this scene from 3 Idiots movie. Okay, so let's see here. So according to initial talking patterns of Chinese commanders, it was like this. According to my perception, LAC is up to finger 4, and since we have arrived here and now reached finger 4, so we have right and we will patrol up to this point and make our permanent presence here. Now in just concluded 9th round of talks of Corps commanders, China decided to back away to finger 8 again. India will move to its permanent base at finger 3. After both sides moved backward, no patrolling between finger 3 to finger 8 from any side would occur till solution from chalks are found. But most of you surprised what led to China soften its stand, and is there nothing for China in this? And the answer of both the questions is south bank of Pangong. In August last year, India occupied many strategic heights at south bank of Pangong like Rizangla, Rechenla, Kailash range and many others. These heights provide dominating position to India in the whole area, so much so that Chinese arms depot and other assets could easily become a target of India if any war or any eventuality broke out. Apart from this, India always can watch any Chinese movement. Due to India gaining such an advantageous location, PLA planners were worried. That's why you must have heard the news of firing and saw this pic of Chinese soldiers surrounding an Indian post. This firing in air by both sides were first after 4 decades. But since India was alert, especially after Galwan incident, so there was no chance of Galwan-like action again, where you first make a deal and then surprise it with a military attack with rods, wires, clubs and other medieval weapons. All this culmination led to Chinese coming onto the terms of India and move back beyond finger 8, a situation before April 2020 when it all started. So this was overall summary what happened or what has decided so far. India very clearly said that it's very firm on disengagement across all points in eastern Ladakh, especially Depsang area. It will ensure phased, coordinated and verifiable pullback. So now let's see how India holded China in last 10 months and make it backed away, or what I call the India way of dealing with China. So starting in a points format. Point number 1. India was very firm. This time when we are in a February month, the temperature in Ladakh is minus 40 degrees centigrade. Despite this, India kept itself fully prepared to face any eventuality, not only in Ladakh but all across LAC. While on political level, Indian government was very firm that it won't yield an inch of land to China. And for this, India was also prepared for a full-fledged war. In Galwan, India lost 20 soldiers, but according to US intelligence, Chinese lost 42. Recently, a Russian official news agency TASS just this week said China lost 45 men in Galwan clash. Point number 2 was not giving China position of strength in negotiation. China always tries this tactic in their negotiation. In this case, India never allowed Chinese to take any decisive advantage at any point of time. Point number 3. India took full advantage of US-China rivalry. US fully supported India, especially in intelligence domain, and India knew that China has opened many fronts from Australia to Taiwan, Japan to United States. Plus, Chinese wolf warrior diplomacy all across the world was also a factor. India took a strong advantage of this and won a narrative war, especially after the Galwan incident. After US president elections, China was hoping that Biden would be softer on China, but from initial signals like Taiwan envoy in president ceremony to Japan's Skull Island under allies pact and to continuing Indo-Pacific and Quad strategy, China was forced to dilute its firmness in Indian border as it was low-hanging fruit for it to solve. Point number 4 is imposing cost of misadventure. India used its economy from app ban to not allowing Chinese companies in a way created a huge cost for China, whose companies wanted to take advantage of world's fastest growing economies. Apart from this, to impose a cost of misadventure, India invited Australia to Malabar, and accepting Quad in a full-fledged manner was also in the same direction. The other point is keeping Russians in loop and isolating China diplomatically. India always kept Russians in its loop and never allowed Chinese to wedge between India and Russia. Thus, no country apart from Pakistan and North Korea were with China. If we see some of the more points, India's readiness or willingness to wreck ties if China won't reverse was also a factor. India adopted the policy of play it cool, play it long. Not hustle, but calmly and without showing any weakness. Stick to the point was the policy and approach of India during negotiations. If we see all across these 10 months, India always keep talking to the Chinese. India never stopped talking even after Galwan incident when sentiments were very high in India. Despite that, India keep talking to the Chinese. And the last point is no psyops from Chinese. India not allowed any psyops to come in thinking of its morality to take on China. Moving on from India way of dealing with China to what this all will lead to. Well, no one knows what Chinese objective were, but one thing is sure that they didn't expected such a stiff response from India. After getting surprised in initial days design of Chinese, India reinforced its troops rapidly and adopted the policy of matchmaking by person to person and tank to tank. Then in August, India occupied strategic heights in the South Bank. The lessons of all this would not be very sweet for PLA. And of course, before taking another such eventuality, PLA and Xi Jinping would surely have a thought of this. Despite all these ups and downs, it is certain that India has provided a new template to the world community to face China. No matter whatever others say, the relationship between India and China won't return to the same old days, and now a whole new generation of young Indians see China as enemy country, especially after the Galwan clash. India would continue, or in most of the probabilities it can increase its countering China initiatives like Quad, Indo-Pacific strategy and many others. All of this standoff and Galwan clash led to a massive trust deficit. It would be interesting to see how relationship will get back to normal. Now to conclude, we can say that although it's temporary and first step disengagement, but if this disengagement happens according to the plan and status quo ante is achieved, it would be a major gain for India, and the India way can be a model for world to deal with China. Having said that, never trust Chinese mantra is key for India's strategic community. Even if Chinese leave all area, India would do well to be prepared. Carrying out infrastructure development and permanent posts is required, and in my personal opinion, a Kargil-like review is required in this case too for future. So that's all in this video. Hoping that you would have learned something. With that, it's a wrap of this video. You can get free PDF of this video at our Telegram channel Geopolitics YouTube and our Facebook group Geopolitics YouTube. If you like this video, please consider liking it. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel. We will continue to bring quality content for you. We will meet in our next video. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.